Welcome everyone to a casted game of Age of Empires 4, and today spawning in the south corner of the map, playing in yellow, we have got Beasty QT playing as the English. He's on a Smurf account, and as you can see, built 2 farms already in the Dark Age. It's the Beasty QT special on the English. And his opponent in the north, playing in green, 80 IQ, 80 APM, 80 Bunty, playing as the Russ. Welcome everyone to Lipany. That is the map for today, with 2 fantastic civilizations battling it out. And we do love a Beasty QT special, don't we? And we don't actually know who this is in the north, but we do know, I think they're around about 95th on the ladder, something like that. So they're not, they're not quite necessarily up there with Beasty QT, but they're not too far off either. And so hopefully we'll be in for a good action-packed game. Now, I mean, it's a bit of an awkward situation on Lipany. It's quite a closed generation. Like, we've kind of got this, that's a very narrow choke point when you look at it. This could be a turtle fest, because the edges, again, there's wood on either side, so it's very easy walling up here on the west side. On the east side, pretty easy, and in the middle, this is where there's a huge choke point between the 2 players, especially with this wood being here. Kind of an awkward spot. I have to say though, the map generation is really bad for the Russ. He's actually got about 3 wood lines, but one of them is kind of in the middle of the 2 players, and this wood line here on this hill. This is such a good spawn for Beasty. He's got so much wood available to him, and it's going to be an uphill battle now for the Russ. But we shall see how much bounty he gets. He does get that wolf is going to be getting that bounty. And if you're not aware, bounty is a little bit of a running joke with Marine Lord and Beasty QT and generally the Age of Empires 4 community on Twitch. And of course, this is on YouTube, so if you're not aware of it, that's just the context behind it. It's just a case of Marine Lord saying bounty in an unusual way because he's French and he's got an accent, of course, and comes out as Bunty for him, and they made a song about it. Anyway, it's a long story short. They got a good song about it on YouTube, so probably worth checking out. Just type in 80 Bunty song. I'm sure it'll be coming out on the searches there for you. Now, this civilization matchup, the English versus the Russ, actually can be, I think generally is quite a nice matchup in all ages. I feel like these 2 civilizations are pretty strong in every age. Like, the English have got a good feudal age aggression, so do the Russ, of course, definitely they do. The castle age is pretty decent for the Russ. I'd say it's okay for the English. It's not like kind of their strongest position. But the late game, I think for the English is very strong, obviously with the enclosures upgrade and having some very strong units. But the Russ also get very good siege engines. And they get the high armory with the unique siege engine upgrades. So it could be something that's good for them. They do also get a passive gold generation from the hunting cabin. So whilst enclosures is incredibly strong for the English, it's not all too terrible for the Russ if they can get the wood lines covered around with hunting cabins. Relics could come into this position in terms of, like if it goes super late game, could be important. We'll have to see. Mining camp. Oh, could have put a mining camp there in between the 2 there potentially. Actually, I think there's 1 tile extra. So it would have been slightly suboptimal for one of the 2 mining points there. They get a Kremlin on that hill. A very nice position, actually, I have to say. Very nice indeed. Alright, well, we're heading into almost the 4th minute of the game. Council Hall is the landmark of choice for Beasty QT. I hope you guys have been enjoying the casted games on the channel so far. I've been enjoying it recently, and hopefully be plenty more heading your way. And if you have been enjoying the casted game so far, do give the video a thumbs up. It actually really helps on the YouTube algorithm side of things. Can't really express it how much it actually helps. I've done some analysis, statistical stuff, looking at the analytics, and generally like engagements, whether it be comments or likes, actually really help boost video numbers, or view numbers rather. Obviously though, you have to keep getting good content out there to make sure people enjoy it, because the views are just not just numbers, obviously. I think that actually changes a lot. I think generally, I know there'll be other YouTubers watching these videos that I post out, and it really makes sense to count, not so much count the viewers' numbers, but just see it as viewership. And if people are enjoying coming back, that's really the key bit of detail. So if it hasn't been your first video today that you've been watching, I appreciate you guys. It shows me that you've been enjoying the content. I'm pretty happy if that's the case. Hopefully going to continue to bring you good quality content. Just to bear in mind that this is a 1080p video, I'm afraid. I had a problem with my PC recently. I do actually explain it in a future video, but I wanted to post this one out there because I really enjoyed this game, I think. I've looked at some of the numbers behind it in terms of how long the game lasts for and the number of units that were made, and it made for some interesting reading. I don't necessarily know exactly how things panned out, and so I keep it blind and fresh. We've got some time to think about now what's going to happen next. We've got sort of 5.5 minutes on the clock. Both players playing this pretty slowly. I think, you know, 2 town centers for the English. Going to be a second town center for the Russ as well. As you'd expect, like the Russ tend to, you know, they tend to do that. Might be even going for a third town center potentially. I mean, he needs the wood. Struggling in the wood here for that second town center. So he's going to collect even more stone before it drops the second town center. That's odd, but that's interesting. And there's that second town center for the English on the deer pack and the berries. And it's also going to protect that relic as well, which could be important in the late game. But certainly looks like it's going to be a 3 town center play here for the Russ. But just peeling off of wood to go out onto the deer pack and the berries and some of the stealth wood there, the stealth forest. Walls coming up already for Beasty, so we're going to expect the long one today, I suspect. It is what it is, but the one thing I do love about long games is that they do come up to a really big battle at the end of it, right? It's usually crazy, like usually maximum population, 200 populations on either side, huge amounts of you know, elite upgraded, fully upgraded units, and make for a very, very crazy end to games like that, but we'll see. Of course, it could be a very different story. I don't necessarily know. But I think this Kremlin is such a nice position, actually. Taking a look at it. Alright, well, there's that second town center for the Russ. Better late than never, I guess. And needs a bit more stone and a bit more wood for that third town center. Curious to see, I mean, does that Kremlin actually... Oh, it does boost up that lumber camp. Not this one, but it does do this one, which is kind of important. So we'll be getting an extra 20% wood drop-off on the lumber camp here. As you can see, 15 and 18, respectively, on the 2 lumber camps. It's unfortunate that this one is not in range, but it is what it is. Walled up on the east is Beasty. And we often do see... Oh, it's going to be a third town center for Beasty QT as well. Like he's got 300 and odd stone. And where's he going to put that third town center? It's going to go on the gold and the berries. It's a nice spot. It does mean he can't be harassed at this point. Got a nice sort of triangular shape going on. And very difficult for the Russ to push any of this. So I think the Russ are going to have to play this late game as well. But it's not necessarily something they want to be. I mean, this is quite a... would love to see the walls a bit further forward, actually, for him. He's not under any pressure, right? So, because getting hold of this middle part could be quite key. And I think also this gold in the middle, it really favors Beasty. I think generally the map spawn today, I mean, that's a bit... Wait, this is a terrible map generation for the Russ, honestly. We've got 2 4,000 gold veins, which Beasty obviously naturally has here at the back of his base. But the 8,000 gold veins that are supposed to be kind of in between the 2 players, well, I mean, that's really not in between. This is a terrible map generation for the Russ today. This is horrible. That's supposed to be on the Russ's side, but it's all a bit skewed. That's a bit of an unfortunate situation. I think Lipany used to be known as one of those maps that had really bad generations, but we thought we got rid of them. Apparently not. In any case, if we go super late game, it might not matter. Maybe trade could be a thing for the Russ. I suspect we'll need to, because of course if it does go super late game with enclosures for the English, he needs to balance that some way to make sure it gets a good sustainable source of gold for the Russ. But it does mean it takes population space. So I think one of the benefits of the enclosures upgrade ready for the English is not so much the gold it brings in. I mean, obviously it certainly helps. Every little helps. I think mainly it's because it saves population space, right? It means that the villagers on farms gather food and gold at the same time. Whereas the Russ will need to rely on traders, which obviously takes population space. And when you start maxing out 200 population on either side, that can really pay a price. Heading into almost the 10-minute mark, and let's switch over to the income per minute, because it just, why not? Feels like we should. And decent number of upgrades now already in play for the Russ, as you'd expect. Wheelbarrow early and double broadaxe, but the English and Beasty is catching up. He's going to get that double broadaxe. Wheelbarrow is coming in halfway through, really. And now a specialized picked as well. I think generally it's a pretty neck-and-neck even matchup at the moment with the villager count and eco. I'd say the eco for the Russ is a little bit better at the moment because of the eco upgrades having been there for a bit longer. And of course, he's got the hunting cabins and the wooden fortress. We go to that castle age now with the Abbey of the Trinity. Beasty a little bit further away. That will give him access to be able to get some of those relics quickly. Beasty spotted this, of course, attacking with his scout, just being annoying more than anything. Just letting him know that he's there. Abbey of Trinity will be able to get the warrior monk, a specialized unit for the Russ. Really rushing that up and wants to get out there on the map as quickly as possible. Just a single longbow harassing villager. Villager will get the palisade walls up in the end, but probably will lose the life. It actually backs away and keeps it alive for now. And palisade half built there. Beasty might just target that actually with the longbow to keep it active. We'll see. The Abbey of the Trinity will be built now, building it with 15 villagers. Now, Beasty should be going to the castle age himself. Question is, does it go with the White Tower? Does it go for the King's Palace, for another town centre? I suspect at this point, maybe not. I mean, it could go for either. I think the White Tower is quite nice for getting siege engines out nice and early. But I wouldn't be surprised to see the King's Palace, just the way that the game's going at the moment, and it is going to be the King's Palace. Effectively that 4th town centre. No real surprises there because there's no pressure coming in. I mean, you don't really achieve that much with the White Tower at this stage. There's nothing to defend as such or against, you know, nothing that's coming his way. He doesn't really need the production because he's not going to be able to... I mean, he's got plenty of villagers just to produce the production buildings that he will need. And considering the map generation, I would love to see a Berkshire Palace right here in the middle. It also protects his 8,000 gold vein, gives him the huge advantage that he already has, really. Just doubles down on the advantage he has on the map generation. And, well, you've got to play the map that you get, right? It's a big part of Age of Empires 4, actually, map generations and spawns and RNG. It can be rough sometimes, but it is what it is. You have to make do sometimes, and I usually wouldn't expect this kind of rough of a spawn. But it can happen on lipany. It's been known to happen a lot in the past. I might just feed this back to the devs, the seed, the map seed, actually, because this is not ideal. A couple of militia heading forward with the warrior scout, or warrior monk rather, to pick up that relic. Beasty looking to try and deny it. Wallaloo goes off, and once the Wallaloo expires, he won't get it, but he will back away with the relic and get out of there. Alright, well, whilst we wait for something to actually happen, trust me, bear with me with the game, because what happens on these sort of matches, it all starts off slowly, but escalates very quickly in the end, and at one point you'll see a massive, massive battle. I can assure you that. I can guarantee you that. But what I would say is actually I've been looking at the analytics on the channel recently. It's been exciting to see where people are from, actually. A lot of people from the United States, a lot of people from India, would you believe? Which is very cool to see. A lot of people from Germany, a lot of German RTS fans out there. It'd be pretty cool, actually, to see where you're all from. I would love to see some of the more fringe countries, actually. Like to see kind of weird, not weird, but, you know, exotic, I'd say. Different countries that we don't often see. I would love to see your flags in the comment section. Drop them in. Love to see where you guys are from. Actually, put the flag and the name of the country, because I'm not very good with flags. I suspect there'll be a flag or two that I just don't know the country of. So, yeah, that might help. I have seen a Moldovan before as a viewer on YouTube, on my channel, which is pretty cool to see. Oh, jankiness there. Sorry about that. Well, the horse archers coming out for the Russ. I don't often see those, but it does offer a large amount of mobility, which is pretty nice on their horsebacks. Gonna run into some trouble though. Spearman gets a good poke off. Does lose a horse archer there, I'm afraid. Not enough to one-shot, not even enough to two-shot, really. I think he had to take, well, we had 4 horse archers, got one shot, and then the 3 finished off, but yeah, it's an awkward situation. I think, unfortunately for the horse archers, they just don't seem that strong these days. Probably the reason why they're not being played that often. Looks like Beasty's going to extend his walls here on the west side with stone walls as well. Going to get access to that sacred site and keep it nice and secure. Heading into the 15-minute mark, and we'll probably be expecting to see Imperial Age coming in soon, especially with the farming transition. The food income really starts to skyrocket for the English. The food income looking incredible for the Russ, but it's probably like to reduce quite quickly as he needs to get a farming transition. As you can see, it's happening right now. Wallaloo happening, just as a bit of a meme. No real impact there. Beasty making sure that his opponent is on guard at all times, and there's that farming transition we talked about. Oh, come on. You can't do this to me, man. There's one tile there. You forgot. You spammed clicked too quickly. I mean, to be honest with you, if it was me, I'd delete these and just build it again. Well, I'm not sure if you get the wood back if you delete them. I think you wouldn't, actually. Still, damn it. It's annoying to see. Now let me know, is that bugging you guys as well? Because it could quite possibly be bugging you. If it is, I apologize, but blame this guy, not me. I'm only showing it to you. A couple of veteran longbows firing on the stone walls. And I suspect this is going to be a common theme in this match, with stone walls coming up. Now, of course, stone walls can only be built by the English. The Russ don't get them. At least not unless they go for an Imperial Age landmark to get the stone walls unlocked. Here come some rams. This could be a ram play by the Russ. We've seen it before. But Beasty does have his army ready. Starting to build some palisades on the front as well, just to protect his economy. Getting an outpost for that extra vision. He'll need that. 3 relics in for the Russ and the 2 sacred sites. Just the 2 relics in so far for the English. I have to say, generally overall, in the super late game, the match is favoured for the English. So the Russ have to do something, especially because you consider the enclosures, and not only that, the map generation. Just so happens it suits Beasty very, very nicely at this point. I'm trying to get as much. I think this is a smart play. He needs to gather as much gold as he possibly can. Maybe even get the get stone and keep. But he's not going to be able to. I don't think he can win this position. It's just too much army here for Beasty. He's going to push that back. And what do you do if you're the Russ here? Kind of outgunned in terms of economy, outgunned in terms of military. It's the power of the English for you. He was going to lose 2 rams as well at the end of it. That's not ideal. As you can see, starting to invest in trade. Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea at all. But yeah, Beasty's certainly going to push in the middle now, potentially. And Beasty's collecting stone as well for a keep maybe in the middle. He could think about going for the Imperial Age though. If he gets more farms, this could be super dangerous for the Russ, of course. And the farm transition for the English is so strong because of the enclosures, right? Like, they get food and gold from them. It funds so many things. It funds the knights, it funds man-at-arms, it funds crossbows, you name it. It will fund hand cannoneers in the Imperial Age. And man-at-arms could be a theme we see for the English because they're very strong, especially with the armored-clad upgrade. Going to get that central sacred site. Here's Beasty and his English. But look at that farming transition. Yep. Okay, I'll allow this one. Because this is the capital town centre, right? So early on in the game you build a house, but tend to build a house a few tiles away just so it doesn't happen like this. But I guess it is what it is. The villagers have to live somewhere after all. There's no excuse. It's not bothering me, I tell you. Promise you. Okay, there's no excuse for this. Why? The houses. No. It is what it is. It's not bothering me at all, I assure you. He says for the 5th time. Greased Axle's coming in for the English, and he is queuing up or eyeing up that Imperial Age. Gonna get a keep in the middle and then build out from there. Now, it's got to be a Berkshire in the middle, right? It's got to be right here or something. There's no other option, no other reason to go anywhere else, really. We'll have to get confirmation of that, though. I can't call it straight away. I don't have the foresight to see in the future, I'm afraid, as much as I would love to. That is not a skill that I have. It's also going to get the network of citadels. Going to be increasing that attack speed bonus from 20% to 40%. It was originally given by the network of castles. And that is the case. It's going to be the Berkshire Palace in the middle of the map. Protecting that 8,000 gold vein, which really should have belonged on the Russ side of the map. It's unfortunate, but it means that it's going to be able to stall out the game maybe. If he's going to try and nullify that impact. Or the impact of that. But we shall see. An English ram coming out just to take down that palisade walls, and well, things are going to start to heat up soon. You've been patient. If you've been watching the video up to now, you've been patient. I thank you very much for sticking around, but I assure you, this one will be worth the wait. Cavalry might just charge in. It gives away the hand, though. It shows that the English can do a transition into anti-cavalry units, so he's got a lot of spearmen anyway. Got longbows on the back line, going to be tanking a lot with those man-at-arms on the front. Does have Streltsy, with the Russ being in the Imperial Age themselves, and the Streltsy will dish out a lot of damage, but the ranged attack coming in from the English is going to be powerful. The horsemen dive in, but they're diving into the spearmen. The spearmen getting so much value, and Man-at-Arms tanking quite a lot now, but the English do back away for now. The Rus going to come on top, but the the horsemen rather, aren't able to get a huge wraparound. Kind of choke pointed by his own palisade walls. He does make a way forward now though. More palisade walls coming up on the east side, on the west side. The same can be said. More palisades. Looks like everything's going to focus down the middle for now. Horsemen diving in, but the Berkshire Palace there's not a lot that the Rus can achieve. He's going to dive in with the horsemen anyway. He's going to lose a few on the retreat. These guys are militia, so they're going to die anyway. So he might as well run forward and do as much damage as he possibly can, but I mean, there's not a lot they can do underneath the Berkshire Palace. Might get a couple of kills of units, but, well, they did what they could. Bit of a kamikaze rather. Holy moly. Words today. It is quite late for me, so do excuse that, but kamikaze effect, or kamikaze approach for the Rus units there. 2 mangonels, and a ram, and a dream. Could be moving their way forward soon. Look at the upgrades coming in for Beasty. He can afford so much at the moment. His population cap, 200 population. Getting incendiary arrows, getting cannon emplacements, getting the third and final food gathering technology. Precision crossbreeding. We see a bit of an engagement in the middle. Not too much of one because the mangonel is going to push that back. And it's going to force Beasty QT into Springolds, which I'm sure he has no problem getting. I'm sure we'll get them out soon. And he can just make them from the keeps, right? The keep in the Berkshire Palace. They can train those units, or make those units. Two rams. Gonna move forward. Not gonna achieve all that much. More just scouting, I guess. Here comes the army behind it, though. With another ram. 2 mangonels could dish out quite a bit of damage. Man-at-Arms going to focus on the rams for now. The horsemen going to dive on villagers on that central gold vein, but they're going to be fighting underneath the Berkshire Palace and a keep. Not to mention the English longbowmen focus firing on those horsemen with incendiary arrows, and it just feels really rough here, because what do you do as the Russ, right? He's trying to make something happen. I applaud him for that, but he's going to lose a lot of his army, and he might push forward a little bit. Might take the Berkshire Palace, actually. It's actually looking better than it was. At least that I thought it would be. The Streltsy getting huge value. Villagers going to try and torch out the mangonels, but buying a lot of time because those villagers aren't repairing the Berkshire Palace. A couple of rams on the Berkshire Palace might lose it. Mangonel might do well to try and deploy, but he loses it to the Berkshire Palace. It is on fire, but with 5 rams, I'm not sure that Beasty will keep this alive. He's trying to repair, but it does go down in the end. And now the rams have done what they needed to do. Streltsy behind the rams, getting a good few hits with their gunpowder attack. And the trouble is that these longbowmen, these elite longbowmen, getting so much value. Going to pick apart the Streltsies. As soon as the Streltsy move, they lose their bonus, which is not ideal. As you can see, the static deployment. Ram's going to try and take out the keep on the west side. I'm not sure if he'll achieve this one. It might actually. There's quite a few rams there. And it's mostly ranged attack units for Beasty. He's going to try and take those villagers to torch them down. Will they get there in time? I'm not so sure. The horsemen might dive on those. Here comes some militia as well with an expiry. I'll take that back. So the Streltsy does take the keep out. That's actually really important. This is a huge push. The push that wasn't anticipating working very well, but it's working nicely. Going to try and get another keep here. Beasty going to try and build one where it was destroyed, and he deletes it because, I mean, there's about 4 rams right on top of it. He's starting to push this back now. Here come the Springolds, a lot of them. The Springolds will do decent damage against the rams. Perhaps not as much as you'd hope, but they do damage. And a keep coming out for the Russ. Not really protecting too much, just protecting the middle, really. Doesn't have access to this gold, though, in the middle, which is kind of not great. And I think really this is where the population efficiency of enclosures will really start to matter. You can see all these farms. We'll be gathering gold for Beasty right now, and that is a huge deal. There is trade. In fact, we see 12 traders so far. Not that many, but it's going to keep the gold trickling in. Streltsy on the front line. Looks like Spearmen going to tank out there for the English. Going to try and rebuild that mining camp to gather as much gold as possible. But a lot of Springolds on the field for the English will do great work against those rams, and the keep does go up on the west side of this little choke point in the middle of Lipany. Alright, horsemen have been taken apart, and this Magadal could be dangerous. The Russ have to get out of there. There's no Springolds out for the Russ. And looks like Beasty's going to heal up, or repair rather, that Berkshire Palace. And Why not? It feels like it's quite safe to do so, although there's another horde of units coming out for the Russ. Trying to gather as much stone as he can here at this point. Oh, there's a trebuchet for Beasty, doing great work. It's taken a lot of production buildings already. We're going to take out a few more as well. What a nice spot there for Beasty, yay. Strauss are going to kill a couple of villagers. Berkshire Palace not up just yet, but that Mangonel always threatening. Mangonel, huge shot on the villagers. He backs away. Keeps them alive for now, but the question is how long. The Streltsy are going to go down on the Berkshire Palace there. Fortunately, and the Berkshire Palace will go up. And the Russ are going to have to find another way. Gonna need more siege. Rams coming in. Streltsy with horsemen. Not a lot happening on the west side. We did get some attack notifications, but, well, not a lot happening. On the east side, pretty safe and secure for both players, I have to say. Berkshire Palace firing away with its crazy range. All those villagers on the wood line absolutely smashed, and the range on this thing is crazy, right? 15 tiles. When you compare the range of the keep, only 8 tiles, just under double. But with 2 bombards now with Springalds, the age of siege has arrived. Siege QT going to take the keep in the middle, and okay, this is smart. We can see the game plan here. He's going to build palisade walls. It means that his opponent can't attack through them with anti-siege, but the bombards, they can shoot through gates. So if Beasty QT does decide to get a couple of gates through the palisade walls, he'll be absolutely fine. The Rams coming in on the west side, trying to take out that keep. I don't think it will even get close, unfortunately. But the units are heading forward for the Russ, heading forward with the militia and horsemen. This could be a good push. I think the militia really start to dictate things here. They're turning the tide, and the wall doesn't get up in time there for the English. And still one Ram alive, but there is a Mangonel or 2 there for the English, dishing out a lot of damage. In fact, there were 2. Another Mangonel shot on the Streltsy on the back line. Killed so many on that sacred site. Masses of dead green bodies, and the keep does stay alive on the west side, supported by the Berkshire Palace. The horsemen diving on the siege. The siege is all going to be pretty much taken out. There's quite a few Springalds there. That's great work by the Russ, but the trouble is he's going to lose all of his army, right? There's a trade-off to be had there for sure. What's happening here? Is this a wolf being annoying the whole time? Quite possibly. No, it's the trebuchet. It's the trebuchet. That's what it is. Anyway, in the middle, Berkshire Palace pushing away everything, and well, the Russ pulling away. Builds a gate. I wouldn't be surprised to see Beasty QT get another gate and another wall further forward. Gonna send their army first though. 50 military to 42. And Beasty almost started to get a foothold in this game. He does have enough stone for another keep here, the Russ, but where does he put it? And how does he defend it? Trebuchet is heading backwards. Now Beasty wants to try and torch everything down at the seams. Oh, the Trebuchet does get sniped, I think, in the end. The Trebuchet from the Russ dealing with that. Oh, okay. Well, the English have broken through. Streltsy's on the back line. Horsemen diving in on that choke point. But look at that. Longbowmen, they activate the ability. Arrow volley, so strong. Reduces the longbowman time to attack by +1 second. For the duration of 6 seconds, you can see how fast they're firing. It's kind of bonkers. Incendiary arrows, great to watch. There are 3 trebuchets or so for the Russ, dishing out some damage themselves, but the English, they do have a technology themselves. If I can find a siege workshop. There it is. It's gonna, well, I think it's got them already, but I think it's shattering projectiles, essentially. Such a strong tech for the trebuchets. And we see a lot of trebuchets. Holy smokes. Beasty makes 7 of them so far. Could be seeing more on the way. We shall see. There's 8. 8 trebuchets. He did build one earlier as well, so we're going to keep count. Hopefully 9 trebuchets in total he's made. We'll see if he makes any more. got any queued up? That's the question. Nope, none so far. Well, well, no more anyway. Whilst we're going to dive in, the trouble is, how do the Russ break through? Because the English Trebs have got shattering projectiles. If anything, Beasty could just keep looking to extend the walls and fight just using trebuchets, which would be... It has been done before. It's pretty broken, but they did actually nerf the shattering projectiles upgrade, if I'm not mistaken. We shall see how good it is still, though. Trying to take the Berkshire Palace down as much as possible. It is being repaired as we speak. Of course, we're going to dive in. There are a couple of hand cannoneers there for the English. Going to do great work against the cavalry. Streltsy fighting against them, though. Here come a lot of Streltsy. 2 Springalds trying to focus on the trebuchets if they can. He might just be able to... Oh no, the Springalds are going to go down to the trebuchets. Holy smokes, I can't believe the trebuchets are able to take out the Springalds. This is a good push. A lot of Streltsy. The trouble is, there's not... Well, actually, to be fair, he's got 3 trebuchets, the Russ. He's going to do great work against the Berkshire Palace. Lots of repairs coming out. If you can take the Berkshire Palace, that will be critical, that is for sure. Might need another trebuchet or 2, though. It's being repaired, that Berkshire Palace. And the units can't get close. As we head into almost the 32 minute of the game, and well, both armies just fighting it out of this central mosh pit. And look at that, the trebuchets from the English. They keep coming. And BCQT's done well to keep them alive for now. You just see how much damage they're doing. They're taking out Springalds even. I'm pretty sure the Springalds are supposed to counter the trebuchets, not the other way around, but Beasty didn't get the memo. Now, where does the Russ go from here? How many traders does he have, I guess? Decent amount, 11, not a huge amount, but you can see the gold income pretty neck and neck for both players, so not too much of a disadvantage for the Russ. The trouble is, this man at arms looking tanky. He's got Streltsy, but I'm not sure if it's going to enough. The Knights are going to tank in on the front lines there for the Russ, the Elite Knights, but the man at arms are going to do great work for the English with the hand cannoneers on the back of them, and the Streltsy trying to get as much damage as they possibly can. Trouble is, will the Streltsy stand and fight and survive? They do have the deployment bonus, and they're actually going to clean up pretty nicely, you feel, especially with the horsemen tanking in the front lines. And the hand cannons do great against the horsemen, but it does detract the fire away from the Streltsy. But look at the trebuchets firing off the Streltsy. Do so much damage. Stonewall's coming out for Beasty. Going to edge further forward. Trebuchets unpack again. And now the Berkshire Palace range has been met. The Russ desperately trying to stop the walls going up. I think he might just be able to. Where does he go from there? Okay, more trebuchets coming out. Holy moly, that's a lot. That's a lot of trebuchets. It's about, wait, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Added an extra because he did lose one. 16, 17, 18. Holy moly, that's a lot of trebuchets, ladies and gents. Well, it's going to be a full BCQT meme with trebuchets, and he needs to build a gate. Oh, sorry about that. He needs to build a gate. Looks like he's going to build one here. Okay. So the trebuchets will be able to make their way further forward even. There's 12 trebuchets still live and active. And get an outpost for some vision. There are a few trebuchets on the east side for the Russ, trying to break through a little bit, but I'm not sure how much they'll achieve. And the difficult situation for the Russ is that any structures are going to find it difficult to survive against this number of trebuchets. Again, more walls coming out for Beasty. Slowly but surely making his way forward into the map. Oh, I think it's still open though, here. Man-at-Arms summoned on the east side to try and take down those trebuchets. He might just be able to. There's no army. In fact, the army's moving towards the center. He's trying to snipe the trebuchets with the horsemen. Oh, it's still open. He didn't notice it. He didn't go through with the horsemen. That could have been bad for the English, but he didn't spot it in time. Distracted with other things. He's going to lose the trebuchets pretty cheaply there, the Russ. Oof, the trebuchets doing great work. And this is a bit of a formality. I mean, I think the English will lose this little engagement with the horsemen now. But they're taking good trade. I mean, the man-at-arms are no joke for the English, for sure. We're definitely seeing that demonstrated today. Trebuchets going to unpack and fire off. He killed so many Streltsy there. He will win the fight on the east side. That's a bit ominous for Beasty. He's got a lot of his population tied up in Trebuchets. It's kind of hard to stop at this point. Rams coming out for the Russ. 3 of them so far. They'll be looking to try and break down the walls and maybe get the Barks Palace again. But it's going to pose difficult with this number of Rams. He's extending those stone walls once again. He's got to find a way to stop this, the Russ. He's got to deal with these walls. The Trebuchet is just adding so much damage into the fight. See arrow volley going off for the English. He's going to fight on top of the stone walls. Not a bad idea at all. Now with population capped, I mean there's a lot of Trebuchets taking up population space for Beasty. I'd be surprised to see him walk through in a little bit with those and maybe lose a couple. Purposefully, of course. Both players fighting in the central mosh pit. Units trying to scramble up on top of the walls, but some of them are getting there, some of them aren't. You see walls crumbling down, but Trebuchet is dishing out so much damage. Will we see another Trebuchet shot? It seems like it. Absolute decimation. More Trebuchets. The trouble is you just can't get through to the Trebuchets, right? No Springalds will work. Might need to go mass rams himself once again to try and take down the walls. Head into almost the 38th minute of the game. Oh, 3 horsemen do get in, but they're not going to achieve that much, I don't think. But it just probably come out to repair, and even if they don't, it might take 1 Trebuchet. What's 1 Trebuchet when you're Beasty QT making as many you are now? Streltsy, they are actually on top of that stone wall, which is critical. Could be a way for him to defend the area. Oh, Rams coming out for Beasty, trying to break through. He might just. There's actually not that many in the way of static defenses here for the Russ. Because of the archer range placement, he can't keep walling this up. It's going to run out of real estate. Trebuchets again, unpacking. Question is, if you're the Russ, where do you go from here? How do you get rid of those Trebuchets? It feels like almost somehow I have to break through those stone walls and then dive in with horsemen. Question is how. Does have Rams. Trebuchets are dishing out so much damage on the Streltsy. He's got to be careful, but say that. What option does he have apart from trying to brute force his way through? Trebuchets continue to fire off. Arrow volley coming out for the longbowmen that are somewhere. I'm not entirely sure where they are, but on the east side he's chopped through. That could be an angle to attack from. And we can see man-at-arms being queued up now for Beasty. He's switching it up. He's getting more military. Doesn't need this many Trebuchets, so suddenly, I mean, he might even give some up. He's going to move forward with man-at-arms soon, I'm sure. Does lose the outpost. Does lose that network of citadels bonus because of it. Now it's going to replace that outpost once again, as you kind of expected. He's going to stone wall up again, and this is tough. He's going to build up the Kremlin, but it's going to go down pretty quickly. In fact, probably with the next shot from the Trebuchets, maybe. Well, I'm not sure if Beasty sees that. He might not be able to see that. Let's just check. No, he doesn't see it. He doesn't have vision on it. So he's going to need to send a villager to get an outpost if he can. "11 Trebuchets will make short work of that Kremlin once it's got a lock on target. Wooden Fortress goes down, of course, very instantaneously. Let's take a look at the economy, right? So Beasty with... Holy moly, that's a lot of farms, guys. But let's count it. I feel like we've got to count this. 31 farms there selected so far. Add in these ones. 56, just a casual 56 farms. Are there any farms here? Nope. Well, casual 56 farms, gathering both food and gold. On the east side, send a couple of villagers and a couple of... Well, just villagers, actually. I think he's throwing with villagers here. Trying to make population space for himself. Moving forward with the trebuchets now. Does have line of sight, I think, of something. Maybe the Kremlin? No, it's going to be the production buildings on the east. He did take out the Kremlin in the end. Streltsy numbers decent for the Russ, but you just can't get a lock on these trebuchets because of the stone walls and 2 mangonels with man-at-arms. This is going to be rough. Slowly but surely, Beasty Cutie bleeding out his opponent. Let's see how many traders does he have? He has extended it to 21 traders now. That'll be a nice bit of gold income. He's actually got a better gold income here. So, whilst he's being pushed, he's not down and out here, the Russ. He could still win. He's got more gold coming in after all. And he's got 6,000 stone. Could he be thinking about a wonder victory? Surely not, right? The man-at-arms diving in. This is a problem situation, actually. The Russ caught out of position. Does he not see this? He should. He's going to be caught out. These villages are going to be very exposed. There's no real static defenses apart from the town centres. And he's going to find access to the trade here, Beasty. Probably going to split up his man-at-arms and send a battalion on the west side. This is a situation that, well, the Russ just didn't maybe expect, but he loses a lot of the horsemen, and there's just no way to take out those trebuchets. Must be frustrating, but now it's going to get even worse because the man-at-arms are going to dive on these villages on the farms, and he hasn't noticed just yet. Well, I take that back, he's noticed it because garrison villages in the capital town centre, but it might be too little too late. Those trebuchets itching forward ever so slowly. A couple of rams do take out a segment of wall, but I suspect that will just be rebuilt once again, and he's going to get a forward keep. If this keep goes up, that's going to be a great staging ground for Beasty to attack from. And boy oh boy is going to attack from that position. Look at that, 61 military versus 16. The Russ are struggling. He doesn't have the gold income. He doesn't have the bank, right? He's got good gold income, but he doesn't have the bank of resources that he needs. I think he just kept on losing a lot of units. Taking suboptimal trades, and I mean, he doesn't have... Wait, okay, the reason why he doesn't have a bank of resources is because this is happening. He's building the Cathedral of the Tsar. He's building a wonder, which is, I think, is a bit of a meme right now because it's going to be attacked very quickly. Here comes 4 mangonels. This is looking ominous. Beasty probably going to win this game, but let's just see how it ends up doing because he's actually going to get a wonder on his face, and I don't think this is any way that he can defend this. Oh, the man-at-arms diving on those villages already, trying to get the palisade walls up, but it's going to be too little too late. Villagers going down in large numbers. There's nothing really to do with his man-at-arms, just one Streltsy or 2, and he's going to lose the landmarks he feel very soon. With this number of trebuchets, the infrastructure will go down pretty quickly, and there's the high armory going to be going down pretty soon. There is the capital town centre. Defend your wonder is the new objective. It does look pretty, I give you that. It looks very, very nice. We'll do one of these for the thumbnails, I think. It's a very nice landmark, or very nice wonder, I should say. It does look like it's going to be the end of the game very soon because Beasty slowly edging forward is going to take out the capital town centre. There's only one landmark next, and that is the Abbey of the Trinity. It's going to be short work, especially with these number of trebuchets. Horsemen are going to try and do what they can, but they can't do too much, and the villager count down to 38. Military levels down to 9 for the Russ. There is no way he defends this, and he will lose that landmark, and maybe there's another. Wait, okay, the high armor is still alive. Well, I say it is alive, but it doesn't matter because he taps out. Beasty Cutie takes the victory on Lipany on a great game, a masterclass of the English. He had a wonder built against him, but it didn't matter because Beasty Cutie takes the win. Hope you guys enjoyed the cast of the game. Take care, and see you next time.